Guys, welcome to Carol's Universe. Really glad that you can join me this afternoon. The last time that I spoke to you, I think I did a review on the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation, and I think I gave that something like a 3 out of 10 because I thought it was a really horrible foundation. I thought it was really heavy, didn't have much glow to it, it just gave you a really polished, heavy makeup look. Wasn't very keen on that at all. I also said that I wasn't very sure what I'd be doing next because I've done quite a few foundation reviews because I have quite a few foundations and I kind of just wanted to say what I liked and what I didn't like about them. I am going to be definitely doing a foundation routine from scratch, so please keep your eyes peeled for that because I'll definitely come back with how I do my foundation, and I'll also be doing a makeup video showing you a few of my makeup looks and how I actually achieve those as well. I don't usually, just a quick bit of information, I don't use really expensive brushes or anything, so this is going to be like a makeup review, a makeup video for somebody who's on a real budget, who's only got a few utensils, and how you can make the best of those. So let's get on to with today's video. Today's video is going to be a review on Maybelline, another Maybelline foundation. So it's not going to be a high-end foundation, it's going to be a lower end foundation. It's from Maybelline, and it's the Dream Matte Mousse foundation. It comes in a jar like that, and it's been on the market for about 4 or 5 years, something like that. It's been on the market, I know, for quite a while, and it's done exceptionally well. Is that upside down? I think that was upside down. There we go. I'm in a shade, as you can see, 070, my usual in Maybelline, 070 Cocoa, because they only seem to make 2 shades. This shade is a titch a bit dark for me, but I can work it and get it to look the way that I want to look. I think it looks rather nice. I've got it on at the minute, and I do like that. I do like that a lot. You know what's so funny? I've been kind of, as you know, if you've seen any of the other videos, I've been doing reviews on some higher brand foundations all week. So I've been doing things like MAC, doing reviews on Lancome. I've done a review on Benefit. I've yet to do a review on Chanel, but I have tried it on, and just as a little bit of a hint, I thought that was hideous as well. But what's so funny is that something that is £7.69 in UK currency, so this is £7.69, you can get it at places like Boots and Superdrug, or you can get it online. That's £7.69, and yet the Lancome is something like 27 quid, and I actually prefer this to the Lancome hands down. I think it's just a gem. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Let me give you a few facts about this foundation. It's a mousse, so it's not liquidy, so it's not going to be like your Revlon or you know, a MAC liquidy foundation, or a Lancome or a Chanel liquidy foundation. This is actually a mousse. Fashion Fair has something that's come on the market, I think it was last year, that is very similar to this, but it's obviously much more expensive. If you're looking at getting anything from Fashion Fair like the mousse foundation, this will do just as good a job, trust me. So this is a mousse foundation, so it's a whipped airlight foundation. Okay, it's a whipped mousse foundation, and it looks like this. So that's it there. See that? There we go. So if you hold it upside down, it's not going to fall out. Yeah. And let me just show you the consistency of it. It's really light, and it's really smooth. So here we go. I'll just swatch that on my hand. It is a little bit darker than what I am, but I can definitely work with it. And if I just, it goes in really quickly. As I say, it's £7.69, and the foundation is actually designed, excuse me, I just need to pick this up. The foundation is actually designed for people with normal to oily skin, but I think if you've got slightly dry skin, you can also use this, as long as you don't put too much powder on it, because the actual texture of it is so soft. It's almost like putting a liquid foundation on your skin, but in a whipped mousse form. So it's not much different to a liquid foundation, except that in fact it's nicer than a liquid foundation, because it's not going to kind of go everywhere. You can really work with this foundation. You can work, you know, if you use a liquid, sometimes if it doesn't have a pump and you pour it out, sometimes you can pour out a little bit too much, and you can have a little bit too much left over, and sometimes you can put a little bit too much in your face. With this, it's really good because you can actually kind of temper how much you're actually going to be taking out of the jar to put on your skin. That's one of the great things about this foundation. The second thing that's great about this foundation is the fact that, honestly, you only need the smallest amount of this on your face. You really do. even if you've got blemishes on your skin, it will cover the blemishes really, really well. You only need to put like a small dot here, 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 here and here, and it really, really will cover it up. And even if you wanted to build it, because it is kind of like a really light foundation, it is definitely buildable though, but it's buildable in so much as it won't get cakey. So you can kind of put maybe a couple of small layers on your face if you're not happy with the first light coverage, and it won't cake up on the face. This is a brilliant foundation also because you can either put powder over it, or you can leave the powder. So it's, I mean, when I first started wearing it back in sort of 2007, I think I started wearing it, I used to wear it without any powder on, and it used to just have a really lovely dewy kind of look to it, even though it is a matte foundation. But now I do put a little bit of powder on it because I like the way that the powder looks over it. I think it looks absolutely lovely. I really love the way that this foundation looks. I just think it looks, I think it looks superb. I really, really do. It's a matte foundation, but one thing I love about this foundation is that even though they say that it's matte, it's not really, really matte. So it's not like you put it on and there's completely no health. There's just a complete deadpan makeup look on your skin. It's matte, but it does also, there is a slight, I believe, healthiness to it. So it almost makes you look slightly glowy. There is a, you know, it allows your skin to kind of come through it at the same time a little bit. So it's kind of matte, but it's also got a little bit of dewiness to it, which is what I really, really like. Not too much dewiness at all, but it does have a little bit of dewiness to it. So I also really like that I like the fact that it has that, you know, it's between matte and slightly dewy, which I think is really, really nice. And it's just a really lovely foundation. I mean, it's really funny because I think a lot of people think that if you higher brand foundations like MAC and Lancome and Chanel and Dior and all these high brand names, Benefit and Clinique, I think everybody thinks that because they're sort of higher brand and more expensive, then they've got to be better. And I don't actually agree with that, because I think that, you know, for example, when I did the review on the Lancome foundation, I found that looked really yellow on my skin and it looked powdery, and I haven't done a review on Chanel yet, but I will come back with a review on that. But I found that that Chanel foundation also looked very similar in the light to the Lancome, if not worse. It just looked powdered. It looked horrible. I didn't like the way that looked at all. But with this, it looks good in any light. It looks good inside and it definitely looks good outside. It just has a beautiful look about it. It's matte, but it's also glowy and kind of shimmery at the same time. It's beautiful. It's kind of like everything all in one. Just absolutely amazing. I can't say enough about Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse Foundation. I think it's really probably one of the best drugstore foundations definitely to come on the market in recent years, and it also gives the higher brand foundations definitely a run for their money. Trust me, it really, really does. Any cons about it? Anything I don't like? No, there isn't. I've got no gripes with this foundation at all. I think it's just wonderful. I really, really do. I think it's just a really nice, soft, and it goes on like silk. That's what I love about this foundation. It goes on like silk. There's no effort with it. You're not going to have to, if you use a brush with it, I would suggest more than anything, to be honest with you, you either use your fingertips or you use a sponge, to be totally honest with you, because I'm not sure whether this would be easily buffered in with maybe a stipple brush or some other makeup brush that a lot of girls use to put their foundation on. I'm not sure how, because of the texture of this, how easy it would be to do that. But I would definitely say that using your fingers is fine for this. I know a lot of people don't like to use their fingers, but using maybe a sponge would also be absolutely fine with this foundation. So yeah, it's gorgeous. It just goes on like silk. It's effortless. It's effortless to put on, and it looks effortless on the skin. And I, for one, am absolutely really happy that I discovered this. I've been wearing it on and off for about 4 years or so. 4 or 5 years or so. Really, really appreciate it. Really like it. Think it's really good value for money. Excellent. So let's summarise who this makeup's going to be good for. The Dream Matte Mousse foundation is going to be good for anyone with normal to oily skin. I believe that it will be good for some drier skins, but what I would say is if you're going to be wearing it and you've got a little bit of dry skin, either don't put any powder over it, or put the minimal amount of powder you can, just like one little, just like a tiny dusting over it, or else or else I think that it's going to be probably, you know, with the powder, maybe a little bit drying for the skin. I'm not sure really, because this is designed for oily skins as well, so there is some sort of dewiness in it. So I think this would be alright for people who have got slightly drier skin, but it's definitely okay for normal to oily skin. This is going to be good for anyone who's shopping on a budget, who wants a really good foundation but doesn't have the money to go and buy a MAC or buy Lancome or buy Dior or buy Benefit or buy Clinique, but you want something that looks really good on your skin. Definitely this is going to be amazing for your skin. It's only £7.69 in UK currency. I think in dollars that's going to be, I don't know, $14, $15, something like that. I'm not really sure about the conversion rate, but maybe between, you know, $12 and $15 or something like that this is going to cost. This makeup is going to be good for anyone who wants a light finish, but something that's buildable also. It's no good for anyone that wants a really heavy finish, because I think it's not going to look cakey on this skin, but it is going to look really heavy. And also because of the texture of the actual of the actual mousse, I think the more that you build it up, the more that you are at risk of getting some sort of shine come through on the foundation as well, because of the texture of the mousse. So I don't think that's a good idea. But anyone who wants sort of a light to a medium finish, this would be perfect for. Anyone that wants something that glides on like silk, minimum effort, isn't liquidy, yeah, this would be absolutely perfect for. And this also has no perfumey smells like Lancome or Dior or Chanel. This is just, it's completely fragrance free, so anyone that doesn't want a fragrance in their foundation, this would be perfect for also. So, you know, there's plenty of goodies there. They come in a range. I think there's something like 15, it comes in a range of 15 colours, so 15 shades, sorry. So obviously the lightest is going to be for Caucasian skin, the darkest is going to be for black skin, even though there are only like 2 shades for black skin, which is not really good enough, but never mind. And yeah, fantastic foundation. Really like that. What would I give it out of 10? I would definitely give this foundation a 9 out of 10. I think it is absolutely superb, well worth the buy, and it's cheap. It's cheaper than Lancome, 27 quid, and it's cheaper than Chanel, which is what, £36, and it probably does, in my opinion, a much better job. It also stays on the skin for quite a while. I wore it yesterday from 9:15 in the morning right through till something like 8 o'clock, so it lasted for, say, about 11 hours. Very little having to sort of repowder or anything like that. It just stayed really nice, really strong, really silky, and really lovely on the skin, and it didn't shift. So yeah, absolutely worth the money. I would suggest, if you're on a budget, you're looking for a really good foundation, you don't like liquid foundations but you want something sort of between liquid and between really thick, then I would definitely say Mousse foundation is the way to go. So that's the end of the review. The next video that I'm going to be doing is finally a makeover video. Well, it's not a makeover, I'm going to be doing a couple of videos. One is how I do my foundation routine, so I'm going to be showing you how I do that, so you'll be able to see me in all my natural glory, as it were. And the second one is going to be doing how I do my you know, a makeup look, like, you know, how I do my eyes and my blusher and that type of thing. I might combine it all in one, I'm not sure. So it might be one, it might be 2 videos, but I'm definitely going to be coming back to you with a foundation stroke makeup video, how to, tutorial type thing. Okay, lovely, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a really lovely evening. Take care.